Hi, all. This is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather was unbelievably gorgeous today. So gorgeous that I didn't want the day to end. But alas, the short few days of beautiful weather in the spring that we get is coming to an end as we're into the month of June. And by the end of June, the weather here in Long Island will be probably hazy, hot, and humid. Now, how do I know that? Because it's been hazy, hot, and humid for as long as Dr. J can remember, being a little boy and growing up in the streets of Brooklyn. I am going to talk about the Dow Jones and the story of the Dow Jones, how I spotted the fact that there was weakness in the bull run that we were having, and that it was ripe for a little bit of a downturn. I kind of called this one, as I did many of the other downturns in the Dow. I also called the stopping point of the Dow. So at this point, I've made two pretty good calls, and I do think that we will get a continuation of the rally next week. But I wanted to just tell you a little story. You guys tell me if you heard of Salugi and Skelly. These are two of the games that we played as kids growing up in the streets of Brooklyn, literally on the sidewalks of New York. So if anybody heard of Salugi or Skelly, just let me know with a comment below. I'm curious just how many of you that has any meaning to. I know the younger generation, not so much. Maybe those over 50, 60 might know of these two games. If so, let me know. I'm curious. And if you ever played them as a kid. Okay, so getting back to the market, we're going to talk about the Dow. We're going to talk about Apple, which Dr. J is still hitting himself in the butt over. I'm going to talk about Chronos, which Dr. J has been buying, and CVM, which Dr. J has been buying. So I continue to buy Chronos. I continue to buy CVM. I kind of held off on more ATHX after the announcement of an ATM offering. So I don't like the company selling at the market. It depresses the price of the stock. But I didn't short ATHX. I'll talk about that the next time. So I charted CVM, Chronos, the Dow, and Apple. Dr. J did pick up a little Amazon, which was a good move. But I did not catch Apple, and I'm still mad at myself. All right, anyway, you can't buy them all. And I'll tell you why I'm mad at myself in particular about Apple when we get to the chart. All right, so let's get to the chart. As always, do your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Please consult with an advisor, an investment advisor, if you're going to follow any of my ideas. Many of them are wonderful, and then some of them are clunkers. Your goal is to differentiate between the two. And if you can do so successfully, let me know. So I know which one of my ideas I should follow up on. I have so many ideas. I can't obviously buy all of the stocks I talk about or have ideas about. Although I guess I could. It's just a question of diluting my portfolio if I did that. So let's get to the charts at this point. Please tell your friends about us, about me, and give me a thumbs up, of course. Please give me a thumbs up and share the screen and write comments about the stock market, about Salugi, about Skelly, about anything you want. And I'd love to hear from you. And also, I'm going to take a look at this live and see how many of you happen to be on with me. Let me get it live. There's 6 watching. Let's see if I have any comments yet. If I get some chat comments, I will try to respond to them as we go along. I want to say a big booyah to those 6 who are watching. I'm learning from Kramer. All right, so anyway, let's get to the video shots at long last. And fasten, you can say Jackie Robinson. We should be there. Of course, what number was Jackie Robinson? You can give me a comment on that. Dow Jones Industrial Averages up 512 points, 2.06% on June 4th, Friday, June 4th. Today is the 9th. That doesn't look right. Up 263 points on Friday, June 7th. That looks right. Okay, so we're at 25,983. There we go. Just above the 50-day moving average, just above resistance, this resistance line that I drew in at about 25,948. So the Dow is in a good spot. We poked our nose above the 50 and above resistance. We broke the old high of 25,948. So we made a higher high. And it looks like as long as we don't pull back and make a lower low than 25,560, where the bull is back, and we should shortly take out the beginning of where we started this downfall back on 5-1 at what number? 26,689. So that should fall pretty quickly, I think, maybe within the next week or so, or 2. And then, of course, we go to take out this high on 424, and then the all-time high of whatever it was, 26,810, I'm guessing. I think that's right, though. In any event, how did I know or suspect that we might be in for a pullback? Well, go back to 429, before we peaked. This is basically a gravestone doji. Every time we've had gravestone dojis, not every time, but most of the time, coming out of end of a run-up, we've had a correction. This is one. Here's a better one right here. And let's see if I can get another one. Gravestone dojis, where are you? Well, they're all over the place, and on the Dow in particular, it's been here's a biggie. Look at that gravestone doji on 10-3. That is the all-time high, 26,951. So I was off on the all-time high. 26,951, we got to take out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women of all ages. We got to take that out and run. I want to see a spectacular denouement for the bull market, a run to over 30,000 on the Dow, a run marked by the small caps zooming, sis, boom, ba. A run marked by the pennies becoming dollars, riches being made before this bull is finally put to bed. That's what Dr. J is hoping and wishing and expecting to happen. So Dr. J thinks we will have a sis boom ba conclusion, a fireworks display, if you will, to this bull market. I've been saying that all along since I began doing this vlog about 12 months ago. And I see a lot of comments now. Let me just see if I can respond. Come on. Wow, so many. I'm sorry I didn't look till now. JD, evening, Dr. J. I got a chart for you to look at. What is that? IIPR? It's been on a roll. Jigglypuff, CVM doomed. I'm still not a believer, and if I'm ever even, I'm getting out. Jigglypuff, I'm going to talk about CVM, and technically we are still in a bear market. So I don't blame you for not being a believer again or yet. You once were a believer because you bought some at some point. Even though we're not yet in a bull market technically, it has shown signs of life. And we're going to look at it. It showed enough signs of life for me to take a chance to add more. Of course, you don't have to do what Dr. J did because you're a lot smarter than me. You've proven that a number of times, right, Jiggly? Buckhead Creek, a swamp here, lots of rain. I'm sorry to hear that, Buckhead. You've had your floods, too many floods this year. Buckhead Creek is a farmer, not sure from where, but I mean, half the United States has been underwater, so I don't know what state Buckhead Creek is in. Jiggy, are you short CVM? Buckhead Creek wants to know. No, Jiggly's not short. He hates the stock because he's down money. He's short. He's long 4,000 shares. And it came down 60% in a month. It did. Jiggly, you have every right to be upset. Of course, you're probably kicking yourself why you didn't sell it at 8, like many of us are. Greg is happy, smiley face. There's lots of chatter between Jigglypuff, Buckhead Creek, and Greg, and AGRX, and CVM, and Neptune. Neptune, where'd that come from? Neptune is a good one. I like Neptune. Their specialty health products and stuff. Like it. I think they spun off one of the other hemp oil plays. What else? Neptune TM is another one. Jigglypuff says it took a beating. So a lot of conversation. Martin says, booyah, Dr. J, back at you. All right, so I mean, it's on and on and on. I can't read them all. I'll be here all night. So this is basically the story of the Dow. It's poked its head above the 50. I'm satisfied that we will continue to bull market, that we will not come back below the low of 520. Which I mentioned what it was. Let's see what it was again, 25,560. Let's move on to Apple, and I'll tell you why I was kicking myself about Apple. Up $5 on Friday, and that's not what I'm kicking myself about. I mean, there's so many wouldas, shoulda, couldas in the market. I was smart enough to pick up some Amazon at 17.18, 17.17, I'm not sure, something like that. And not smart enough to jump in on Apple. I was watching it down here on the 3rd. It went below my selling price at 172. Remember, I sold some for a profit at 172, but I felt bad because look at the run I missed all the way up to 215. I missed a huge run. And then it went down below my selling price to 170-ish. And I had an opportunity to buy it back, but I was greedy. I said it's going to hit the 61.8% mark, or at least my low here. of 169.50. So I was waiting for 169.50 and wound up never buying it. Ooh, that one hurts. I mean, I should have, oh, I'm not going to say it. There's so many shoulda, woulda, couldas that I've had through the years. This is just another one. Chronos. Oh, is there any reason is there anything else I wanted to say about Apple? Well, it's doing everything right, it looks like now. This is the 100, the 200, the 50 is above both, and the stock itself is creeping up towards the 50. It's above the 200. So we want to see Apple go above the 194 level, get really into solid bull market territory. This high that it made on Friday is higher than the other previous high. So it's making new highs, and that's significant. So this high was 192.47. It closed at 190.192. Actually, it didn't take it out. We want to see it take out that high, 192.47. So my goal for Apple on Monday for you longs is to take out this high at 192.47. I'm sure it will, but it needs to do that. Chronos. Chronos is very interesting. For 3 days, it looked like it was collapsing, and now it's back hugging its trend line. Beautiful trend line, finding resistance at the 50. And it's kind of like in a wedge between the 50 and this trend line. So something's got to give, something's got to give, something's got to give, right? Hopefully it gives to the upside with a breakout on Chronos, back up to the 50, back up to the $18 level. That's what Dr. J is expecting and hoping and wanting and wishing, and does believe will happen for Chronos, and we get back up into the $18 area, which is probably more like fair value than where we are down here. So at least Philip Morris thinks so. CVM is the one I want to end with. And CVM sell side is the subject of a lot of debate, controversy. Gert, hey, here's one for you, Jigglypuff. Gert invested some of his own do-re-mi. The CEO, Gert Kirsten, invested not much, maybe 60 grand, on adding to his 1.1 million shares. And that helped send the stock up, I believe. Also, it was just simply oversold. We went below the RSI of 30, and we did that just at the bottom. When we came out, the RSI started moving up, and now we're at an RSI of 42. So we're not oversold anymore. What's important is that we keep making progress, take out this high from a couple of days ago of 495. The important high to take out is this one at 530. If we take out the 530 high, we're definitely moving. But Jigglypuff, until we make a new high from 2 days ago, I don't blame you for being worried. I'm not so worried, but maybe you just worry more than me, or just annoyed that you didn't sell some up here. I'm annoyed at myself too, but we don't always have the crystal ball working perfectly. So that's been all for now, I think. Yeah, I guess so. So I'm going to stop sharing and get back to you guys and look at if you have any further inspirational thoughts on the chat. I'm going to zip down to the current. Buckhead Creek, take a look at this after Dr. J finishes. I got addicted to this channel after Dr. J's biopath call. That was a good call. Jigglypuff's giving me credit. It was brilliant. Well, JD gets a little credit as well, right, JD? JD said, hey, Dr. J, look at Biopath. It doubled from 2 to 4. And then we went crazy with Biopath. Everybody was buying Biopath. All we talked about was Biopath. And suddenly it was $71 in a blink. Too fast to blink for Dr. J, who was at the gym that day and didn't get to sell it until the 30s. But I bet you, Jiggly, did you sell it in the 70s, Jigglypuff? Did you really? Come on, you didn't sell it in the 70s, did you? What did you sell it at? You're not still in it, are you? Jiggly, did you leave? That was 9:27. I know he's still there. Let's see if Jiggly has a response to that. In the meantime, in between time, Saluji. I'll tell you what it was. You tell me if you remember the game. You grabbed somebody's hat or scarf. It said Saluji and threw it around. And a bunch of guys and girls would have fun at the expense of someone else. And that someone else would run after that hat, run after that scarf, whatever, and try to get it back. That's what one of the cruelest games that we played. Another nicer game was Skelly, where you took a pastel chalk and drew this beautiful court called the Skelly court. And all you needed to play was a couple of bottle caps. It was a great game. We cleaned the sidewalks of New York with our kneecaps. So this has been Dr. Jason Live from Long Island, New York, reminding you to be well and trade smart. Okay, the internet is slow due to the rain. Jigglypuff got out in the 50s. That's 20 points more than me, Jiggly. Adios, amigos. I want to say shalom. See you next time. Ciao. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Bye-bye.